Yeah, so breastfeeding was a challenge, let's just say it was a challenge. Like, even though I'd been prepared for it being a challenge, pain, the just the not being able to do anything, like you just have to sit and lie back, and then that's all you're focusing on. So the pain probably isn't as terrible as it sounds, except for the fact that you're thinking about. When I was really struggling with the pain, trying to see a doctor, and I kind of feel like you have your health visitor and even your midwife, and it upsets me that they can't prescribe. When I thought it was thrush and I had to see a GP, and I remember phoning my GP in tears and like just saying to them, I said, I'm trying to breastfeed and I can't continue if this pain continues. I can't wait. They wanted me to wait a week. I said, I'll have stopped by then. And I just felt like really there needs to be more support medically, faster as well. You hear about people who've had mastitis. I luckily haven't had that, but I've had blocked ducts, and I've always been able to clear it on my own. But if I hadn't, and I had a GP that was saying wait a week, that for a lot of people would be throwing the towel in, because why would they continue if it's they're in that much pain? She's at the stage now where she's just not breastfeeding for very long. Like she's just too interested in everything. So when you have the early stages of the difficulty, early stages, you kind of think, oh, by 7 months it's going to get easier, and actually there's just more challenges. So like she's already now looking and like already, not even had a minute, and she's like, yeah, what can I do now? My partner's been brilliant actually, because of his culture. Then yeah, breastfeeding, like I kind of in the early days almost felt a bit of pressure, because I thought that's what he will want, and if I can't do it. And actually I've been really, he was very into breastfeeding. He thinks it's the best, would want me to do it. But along my journey, which has been quite difficult at times, he has completely supported, if I wanted to stop. And in the early days, for him to sort of be part of it, I used to express into a bottle so he could feed. So he is more than happy if it didn't work and it wasn't working, to actually go to formula or express milk, or and that was really fantastic actually, that I had that support either way. Especially on those days when I was really struggling, he was just like, well, if it's too much, don't, you're not failing. And I think that's the problem with breastfeeding and with bottle feeding, and a lot of people feel this failure, if they can't keep it up or they don't last as long. I thought I'd breastfeed for 6 months. We're now 7 months. I'm not really ready to give it up, although I'm going back to school, so I'm going to have to try and manage that. It has been a challenge, and like the best thing that's for me has been speaking to other new mums. So we've got a group of new mums who all kind of gave birth at the same time, and that has been such a great support, because people tell you that it's difficult, but you're never prepared. Yeah, so I had her in March, so we were just coming out of it really. So I've been really lucky. She's been to baby clubs, tiny talk, all the different, right. So I feel really blessed, because I wasn't in the height of it. And so even giving birth, my partner was allowed to be there for the whole time. He then had to leave and could only come and pick me up at the end. And I think with COVID, I think breastfeeding feels even more important, because obviously with all the germs and all the things that are going around, like it's so good for her immune system, but I think also mine as well. And I just think, like during this time, I kind of feel even better about the fact that I'm able to breastfeed. So all the struggles in the early breastfeeding, and I had Raynaud's as well, and so I got really uptight about going out in the early days, like because it was the cold that would cause the pain, and I'd been treating myself, got a doctor to treat me for thrush for almost a month, and it obviously wasn't clearing because it wasn't thrush. And again, because of COVID, you weren't really properly seeing a doctor, so no one was giving you a proper diagnosis. They were just going off what you were telling them you were suffering from. And it was only one morning when I went to grab the paper from outside, and I hadn't fed her at that point, that the pain came, and I thought, whoa, this isn't from breastfeeding. This is so. And then I clicked, I looked it up, and so I was able to get that treated. So as soon as I got that treated, I was desperate to get out really and breastfeed, because I'm not shy. And you know, and that's the whole point of me wanting to breastfeed is the ease, you know. Like, I kind of say to people, I'm a lazy mum, because, you know, my sister did bottles and filling up bottles, and that just sent me over the edge, the thought of sterilizing all those bottles. And for me, I can just go out for a walk, and I only need to pack nappies and change clothes, and I can go straight out. I don't need to worry about food. And now she's 7 months and weaning, I have to start thinking, oh, hang on, what snacks can I get for her? And what, you know, if we're out for a bit longer and she wants something a bit solid. But yeah, so I love going out. I've never had any issues. People just don't really react, so, which is great. You're not failing if you stop, or you don't manage as long as you want, because it's everyone's individual journey. And to me, like, you know, I see myself as the lazy mum, because I don't have to prepare the bottles, I don't have to sterilize the bottles. So, you know, it's not, I don't think there's an easy option when it comes to feeding your baby. I think it's a challenge however you feed your baby. But for me, breastfeeding is very special, and I'm really, really glad that I'm still doing it and that I've managed. And, you know, I just would recommend it to anyone to really try it.